Hi guys, this is Luciano Bove talking to you to explain a little bit what I did on this sports car rendering. And instead of showing you all the process that you can see on many other videos that I make and that I also make during my live emissions, I would like to explain to you the most delicate part, which is the end, the last part, when we put the highlights and we really create that very nice effect of shiny, glossy, super juicy car sketch or car render in this case. So this is a sports car, very nice 2-point perspective that I made during this week. And then as you can see, I used chalk, markers, the blue, dark blue, indigo blue from Faber-Castell, and I made it using the indigo blue chalk mainly, no black. Now what I'm doing, I'm adding the cool light and the warm light. So I'm starting with the cool light, and the cool light is violet. I'm using a violet chalk, okay, very light, very gently. I'm putting in the front of the car, okay, just like if in front of the car there was a very light violet LED spot that of course is putting some violet reflections on the surface. So that's where you can see. I use my brush to take off the dust. When we do a render, we have to be very careful about how clean we keep our sketch, our page, so that we don't put any type of fingerprints or dust in the white spots where we don't want it to be. So now I'm still working with my violet, and you can see already that the car, which is a blue car, is getting that very subtle violet reflection, which makes it very special, very nice. This video, it's around 20 minutes, but in reality it's 40 minutes. It took me to do this part, okay? I made the whole sketch all complete with the highlights and everything in about an hour and a half. So when we go to rendering stuff, it's of course it's much more time consuming than just a sketch, where we go kind of fast and we use only a few markers and just a little bit of chalk. So now I am looking at it. I'm trying to judge whether I have to add a little bit more violet or just keep it that way. I think that in this case, probably the amount of violet is already pretty nice, so that it doesn't get unnatural. Gets a very natural feeling. Right, very natural feel of it. Okay, so now I've got my cool light, looking at it, and it's important to look at your sketch. In this case, it's not to go too fast, to make sure that you really think about what you want to do to make it better before you get to the highlights done with the white gouache or acrylic paint. By the way, the music that you have in the background, it's from bangsound.com, and it's really excellent website where you can find free rights music to download, as long as you of course give credits like I'm doing now, or you can also buy some special type of music which are much longer to use on eventually on videos or just to listen to it. So now I'm going with the warm, and for the warm I mixed yellow and red, but more yellow than red. I didn't want that red to pop out too much on the blue car, so it's kind of orangey, you know. And the warm, of course, the warm light is going to be on the opposite of the cool light, so on the other side. And in this case we can imagine that there is the sun, you know, kind of sort of a sunset, and the car is facing the back of itself toward the sun. So all the back part get that type of sunny late evening reflection on the body, on the glass, a little bit on the top of the car. And as you can see, once again, I'm really gentle. I don't make it in an extreme way. I don't exaggerate, because I really want to keep control and a very good balance overall on the overall sketch. Now that's what I'm doing. I'm checking it to judge if between the violet and the orangey feeling warm light, there is a good balance. By the way, I would like to let you know that I just opened a new channel on YouTube. It's called Art Design Extra, and you can find it only on my name, Luciano Bove. I have 2 channels, but you can also find it on my homepage of this channel. If you scroll down, you will find the image and link to the other new channel. And the new channel is about artistic stuff, okay? Drawing, figure drawings, product design, boats, sketches, architectural drawings, paintings, you know, because as you know, I like also to paint. I go back with my pencil, my dark blue, just to give accents. Now I'm working on the line weight, the line quality, because after the chalk is finished, it's time to make some lines a little bit crispier, and also to give some accents to some areas of the sketch. I'm using my white to start defining the areas where I will put the highlights afterward. And basically, as you know, that's where the normal light, the daylight, it hits the car in the spots, in the right spots, and I'm giving a better accent of those darker lights to make some parts of the car pop out better, because I'm creating a focal point now. Of course, our focal point is the front wheel, the windshield, the front light, you know, the front fender, and a little bit of the side where there is the air intake. That's our important focal point. So now with a marker, I just increase some contrast. So I'm using a black marker now, black COPIC marker. Yeah, I gotta be careful in perspective, so that what you do on the left side, for what you can see on the other side, you have to do it, unless it's gonna look strange. Looking at the sketch now, I should have made that pointy front end a little bit longer. Probably would have been better. Now let's put a little bit of red on this hypothetical logo. I don't know what car it is. Of course, I get inspired by many things, but I don't want to put a specific logo of a specific car companies. So I just put a nobody logo. And here with the yellow pencil, I'm just doing some of the extra line work in the warm area with the warm yellow. Because it's correct. It's the little reflection, on the border of the car in this area. And I go back with the red, because that's exactly what I did with my chalk. I mixed the red and the yellow. And of course, with the outline, I'm hitting a little bit stronger. And as you can see, it's doing really well, because it's kind of defining better the outline of the car, and also pushing the car, to pop out better from the background, the white paper. And then in the front, I will do the same thing, but with another type of pencil, color pencil, which of course is going to be a light violet, very like a lila, as you can see, because as we said before, the cool light, it's coming from the front. So those are all little things that that you have to think of. If you want to make a rendering, you have to think of all those things, because in reality that's what happens. And those details all together will give you really a better perception of the car. You see that it's not sketch. It's a lot more than a sketch. I don't know what I was trying to do here. Maybe I was trying to drive my car. So I was telling you, if you want to go and check out the new channel, you're welcome. Maybe you want to subscribe. Now it's a new channel, so I have no many subscribers. It's all a new experience there. But I will keep on updating channels with new videos of life drawing, figure drawing, still drawing, landscapes, stuff like that. If you like artistic works and paintings, maybe you are interested. You could be interested. Now with the light marker number 3, cool gray number 3, I'm making a little bit of transition on the shade, because the shading, the shadow, the cast shadow, it's never black on the ground. There is always a little bit of fade out. So using a light marker, a light gray, and just killing that strong contrast between the black and white will help a lot to give depth and to make it more believable. Now I wonder if you are thinking what type of reflection is that underneath the windshield, the one that I'm fixing now with a little bit of white reflection. That one is a very compressed reflections of the windshield onto the hood. Basically, it's the windshield. There is a little mirror effect on the hood from the windshield. And now I'm going on to the reflection done with markers, and I'm just giving some accents. So we want to make some of those reflections pop out a little bit more. You know, we are imagining that in front of the car, on the side view of the car, there are lights. Maybe there is, I don't know, shops with all the lights on, cars passing by, whatever. And therefore, on the side, there are some extra lights or lighted areas. And when you do that with the white on top of the chalk that has been fixed, with the spray fix, it's never real white. It's that violet that becomes a little bit lighter. And that's another trick, really nice, because makes that really like a light and not just a white spot. Now with the white I have to go and check around all the marker reflections if I can put a little bit of, enhancing some of them, always with the objective to increase contrast and bring light, you see? Also in this area, which is probably too much into the darkness, the little line, it's very light, it's doing its job. And now this part of the video, it's gonna be kind of fast, okay? Because you can see how I'm placing all the highlights in those spots, the air intake, on the side, onto the side glass. As we say, the spot, the highlight spot is always an ellipse, and then onto the windshield, just next to the black or dark gray highlights, we had to put a real white, the way I'm doing now, real white line that has to have, of course, almost a triangular shape because it's a conic shape. So you see how I'm wider at the base and much thinner on the top. And I'm turning the paper because I really want to make sure that I feel very comfortable the way I have to move my hand and my arm, not to make a mistake, to follow really well the lines. This is all freehand, no tools, therefore I must be much more careful. Yeah, probably you are thinking, why don't you use tools? Because I don't like it. not that much. But that windshield needs still more work. You will see. Now also, of course, if we do it on the windshield, we have to do a little bit also onto the hood, so that it becomes really more natural. You see? Look how I'm making that white spot. And that helps a lot to make that car shiny. Really, believe me. You see, look at that. It looks like really the light is hitting there. Now a little bit of reflection on the side fender. Now the wheels. As you remember, on the wheels, we don't exaggerate. Okay? Always following a very particular type of axe. And then in the hottest spot of the side view, next to the marker, the dark marker, we go and increase the contrast with the white. You see? Look, it's really nice. I have to tell you that I had a lot of pleasure in doing all this. I mean, 40 minutes just flew by, to be honest. And you have to be patient. You know, there is no way you can do this if we are not patient. You have to know where you put your lights. You always have to take a little bit of time and breathe, because sometimes then we put too much, and when we do it too much, it's not good anymore. Now I'm increasing the contrast there because the surface is bending, you know, and with the chalk was not dark enough that area. So I go with the pencil and just add a little, you know, a little bit of the blue to make sure that it feels like it's a little bit darker, because that surface, it's bending, therefore it's more in shadow. You see? Look, does it look better? To me it does. Okay, always working a little bit around the reflections and the lights to increase the contrast. You see, I just put it in between those white spots, the clear spots, the darker pencil, just a little, to make sure that I get that juicy effect that I really like. When I'm doing this, I'm always watching and controlling the whole thing, you know, to make sure I reassure myself that I'm not exaggerating. But in those spots, you see, I increase the contrast, because that's where the real hot spot is. In fact, look how much better it is now. Now increase a little bit more that outline there of the fender, should have been a little bit darker, so that we can see it better against the white of the paper. But this rendering does not have any background, therefore we have to make sure that the car really sticks out well, pops out well, and also in the back, you see. Then of course there are also little corrections I'm making to make sure that all lines flow well together. You see that all the three-dimensional thing, it's really working together, that are not lines are going in a bad direction just because at the beginning I was going kind of fast. So now it's the time really to, like there, I just made a correction in the back. You see, the back lower part of the bumper needs to be a little bit higher because of perspective, and also because of the balance of your overall body of the car. I hope that a video like this one, explained this way, very calmly, has been very useful to you. Now don't go away, because there is the full picture with the few little updates that comes in a few seconds, because the video it's basically almost finished, and I really hope that you liked it. I really hope you liked it. Please leave comments. Leave a comment. I'll be very happy. Or leave me a tip if you want. There is my PayPal link in the description. Thank you. Ciao. Bye bye.